That is recording. It looks like we're live. Hello, Internet.
Hi.
Okay. It is just about that time. We've got recording. I just want to make sure that it goes live on my end with the YouTube after the delay.
Yes.
And I will be good to go. All right. That looks good to me. Okay. I had Taco Bell earlier.
You said good to go. So.
Yep. And it was yummy.
All right.
I will count it down. And we'll be off and running. Let's start this hootenanny. Woohoo!
Hold down. Okay, nobody gets. Hold down, hootenanny. Hold down, hootenanny.
Settle it the usual way.
With a shootout.
It's time. It's time. It's time. Guten Tag, everybody. Welcome to the A3K podcast, powered by the fine folks at anime3000.com, where the future of anime and manga will be content created, because we're content creators. That's what we do. That's what it's called nowadays. My name is David Majors. I'm the host of the A3K podcast right here, live on the intertubes at A3K Live, on television, on the internet, right this very moment. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening on the podcast. My regular co-host, Jack D, is currently on assignment, I believe in Hawaii, possibly involving spam. So Jack will be back next episode. Stitch? I don't. Yeah, I know. I don't think Lilo and Stitch have anything to do with it, but I think spam will be involved. I definitely think there is spam involved.
Lots of spam, according to
Lots of spam. Spam.
Bizarre Food guy. I forget his name.
Now, those voices that you hear this week on the podcast, I'm joined fresh, hopefully, from about 76 consecutive hours of playing Splatoon, the one, the only Frankfurt Aloysius Westerholt Maxwell Brawlerton IV, a.k.a. A.W. Brawler. A.W., what's going on?
Well, first I have to put an asterisk next to that 76. I'm kind of actually on hour 92 now. But yes.
Check that.
But yes, I've been twitching up a lot of Splatoon.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. Now, that other voice you hear, I mean, like I said, everybody, Jack, my regular co-host here on this podcast, is out for the week. She'll be back. So I did what any good podcaster would do. I had to call in the squad. I had to call in the squad. And
go one of these. You had to go like that. You had to do the little, raise the left hand.
You know, hey. Yo.
Yeah.
And
call the lefty.
I had to call him my boy, my good friend. You know what, Petey? Nope, we're not. This isn't right. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. Okay.
Exactly.
My name is David Jeffrey Majors, but you can call me DJM. I've got the voice, I've got the style, and I do so many podcasts, your road trip will be covered for hundreds of miles. And this right here, this is PD Rave, the Miami podcast machine, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest podcast in the room.
How you doing?
How you doing? PD, thanks for joining us. Welcome.
It's your friendly neighborhood PD Rave, everybody.
Yeah, my boy. Bienvenidos y gracias, PD. Thank you so much. So let's just jump in. As always, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, if you feel so inclined, please, by all means, join the conversation. Use the hashtag on the Twitter, A3K Live. Go ahead and go into the chat room at A3K TV on the YouTubes. Yes, we will read it, and we'll check it out, and we might even give you a little bit of internet love. And just like that, just in the nick of time, there she is, my co-host on the Nanashi Anime Podcast, my good friend coming to us from just about half an hour that way from my place. Nice area. It's Lily Inverse, everybody. Hey, Lily, what's going on?
Well, traffic is terrible. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it is.
Ran from my car after thrifting for my next cosplay venture to the seat, and then my computer was like, "Hey, you got a new computer? Download the Google Talk plugin so I can make you even more late." I'm like, "Thanks, computer. That's totally what I wanted."
Yay.
Well, thank you for making it just on time. You were right on time. And hey, let's just jump right in.
Fusion dance with Vaporeon.
Thank you.
Oh wait, Lily's wearing her costume? I couldn't tell.
No, this is not.
No, as they say, hashtag Lily woke up like this, you guys.
Exactly.
It's just like
I woke up like this. I woke up like this.
Woke up like Vaporeon. What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag.
Someone. Let's just jump in, because guys, we've got some great news. For whatever reason, this is just the episode of the A3K podcast where Jack isn't here and Cody Byer isn't here, because it has been announced that the unofficial favorite podcast of the A3K network, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, will have an English dub. And we'll just get the drinking out of the way. This is the A3K podcast. If you're tuning in for the first time, each and every time JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is mentioned, you are inclined. We implore you to consume and take a drink of your choice. And we're getting this out of the way right now so we make sure all of you are good and blasted. But it has been announced that at Anime Expo, in just a couple of weeks, it will be that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure will be premiering its English dub. And I gotta say, the voice cast of this is pretty much a who's who of DJM's favorite voice actors. Richard Epcar.
Before you name them, can I guess Chris Sabat is in there somewhere?
So far, not yet. Not that I am seeing.
I'm surprised.
Give it time. However, a couple of my favorite voice actors, Richard Epcar and Patrick Seitz, will be in this series. Yeah. And also Richard Epcar, the voice of Bobobo, and Bato from Ghost in the Shell. Bobobo. So I just want to mark this down to everyone out there in A3K land that sees all of the banter about JoJo on Twitter. It's getting a dub. I will check it out. Yeah. Lily, have you heard any? Have you caught on to the hype about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Have you caught the hype of this show?
I have not. I feel like I need to be schooled.
So do I, actually, because this is the show that everyone else on the network talks about. AW, you've seen this. How everyone...
That's my secret. I've never seen even one episode of it.
No, I mean, you've seen how Jack and Cody and Colton and everyone else is always talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Drink. That's like four drinks right there.
Right.
AWPD, now that this show and all of its hype is finally getting a dub, are you guys going to check it out finally?
I don't think that was stopping me before, but it would definitely be. I think it's not going to stop. It wasn't stopping me before, but it's definitely another reason for me to finally say, you know what, this has enough hype and has enough of a presence that, you know what, I should get around to seeing it. I should check it out. I should see what all the fuss is about. So I'm definitely going to check it out.
AW? Do you think now that it's getting a dub, do you think you'll check it out?
I have a strict rule for subs and dubs. The only animes that I watch dubbed are mysteries. Because when I'm trying to watch something like, say, Case Closed, as they dubbed it in English. It helps me focus on the clues and better probably guess who done it if I don't have to glance down the subtitles. So murder mysteries and certain actions and certain comedies, because I can watch. So it's murder mysteries, very few actions like Dragon Ball Z, and comedies, because I can watch Sergeant Frog in English, though I prefer the Japanese one. In School Rumble, I prefer the English over the Japanese. So I probably will not watch JoJo in English, because very few English.
This show is an action show. It's got all sorts of badass men doing manly things, fighting and all of that stuff. And I don't know, I guess.
Yeah, but One Piece sounds horrible in English, and I don't want to try it again after that.
Well, again, the voice cast of this show, in my opinion, sounds pretty spectacular. It's got, like, my number 1 and number 2 favorite English voice actors already. So that catches my attention.
Now, we will probably glance at the dub version just to see, since they do have the voice of both Frankie and Bobobo. How can I pass that up? So I will probably just glance at it.
And I'm willing to give it a chance as well. Guys, if you're hearing this, if you listen to this, it's getting dubbed. It's got 2 of my favorite voice actors. I am absolutely going to give JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a chance. I'm going to be completely open-minded, and we're just going to jump right in.
I'm probably going to...
I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to be very critical just to troll Cody.
You can't troll the troll.
No, just no trolling, guys. I'm trying to bring some kind of peace and understanding and common ground. I'm trying to make peace. Together. I'm trying to bring total pacifism to the A3K network, AW.
Unity, not division. Unity, not division.
There will never be peace between me, the bubbly Milky Holmes watcher, and the extreme critic. But people will love that.
I'm trying my best.
Unity.
I'm trying my best to bring people together. That's why I'm trying to bring all of these Rebelli and Delta Juliet Mike and Chat Realm and A3K crossovers. That's why I'm trying to do all of these with all of these people crossing over and getting together. And speaking of crossovers, guys.
Yes.
Splatoon. That's kind of a big deal right now, right? Splatoon?
Yeah.
Yes. It's kind of a big deal. I know my boy Drew Snyder is playing the crap out of it.
Now, did you guys, any of you guys, check out this show? It was really popular for a minute, called Squid Girl.
I can't say that I have.
Something of that nature.
All right. Well,
was that the show with the girl who has the little white outfit on and the squid hat thing?
That is the one. AW. That is the one. Now, coming to us from our friends at Japanator, word going around is that there will be a Squid Girl / Splatoon crossover. You might just say right there on the page, the deal has been inked.
I could even say it's going to be incredible.
I don't have a Nintendo system to play this on, unfortunately.
You gotta be squidding me.
You are on a roll, AW. I love what this game is doing for you. This is way better than Milky Holmes.
Bringing out the inner dad joke in him.
We are pro dad joke here on the A3K podcast. Lily, you have a Wii U, right?
No, I have a regular Wii.
Okay,
I haven't
all right.
upgraded the U yet.
I thought, what was I watching you play at your house then? All right, never mind. Okay, AW. Since this looks like it's going to be a thing that's going to happen, to where it looks as though, according to the story, there will be some kind of it'll be a manga crossover. That's what it was. I'm sorry, I was reading that. It's a manga crossover. Squid Girl and Splatoon. Are you interested in a Splatoon manga, let alone a crossover with Squid Girl?
Yeah. I want them to make an anime out of it. I love this game. And also, I don't know why they didn't mention it in there, but the they've already mentioned that there will be Squid Girl in the game, or at least an outfit to make your character look like her. I'm not sure why they didn't mention that.
Yeah, the personality from what I can see of Splatoon would work really well, I think, in not just in manga form, but in animated form. Like, just kind of that world and that kind of personality would just work so well.
Just looking at the artwork from the story, I'm going to go ahead and say, guys, that this kind of reminds me of an anime that Lily and I reviewed a little while ago that I really, really hated.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it was this one thing we did on Nanashi that I don't really want to bring up anymore.
It have undergarments and foot coverings of some sort?
And the artwork that I'm seeing in this little crossover, and the artwork that I'm seeing here, it kind of reminds me of that show.
So is it a trigger? Is it a trigger for you, Deej? We're gonna have to put a trigger warning on this manga.
No, I'm cool. Because I'm not going to ask for a trigger warning just for me, because I'm just one dude. I'm the only person that rages out over that show, and that's okay. I can deal with that. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need everything adjusted and tailored for me. I'm a grown-ass man.
Mm-hmm.
And I want AW to enjoy his Splatoon completely unfiltered. I just want the ink just to go all over him. Just
all over his
all
face.
The ink he can handle.
All in his mouth and his face and maybe in his eyes. Just like
spritzing all over.
Why does it sound like you guys are describing a very nasty ink bukkake hentai thing?
No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we're just talking about this upcoming manga.
Yeah.
And
the way you worded it makes it sound so dirty.
Oh no,
yeah,
no!
There's paint all over the place. It is kind of dirty. You know, you kind of have paint all over the place and all the ground. That's kind of dirty. You know, it's just kind of you want to clean up a little bit. I will say, chances are that this manga or show, considering it's a Nintendo property, will not resemble that unnamed show in any way whatsoever in content. I will say, at least.
And that is okay with me. What do you think? Would you take the over/under on Splatoon, characters from Splatoon, being in Super Smash Brothers in the not-too-distant future?
I think they're already in there. There is a direct that's coming tomorrow. I don't mean already in there. I mean, I think they already have them made to put them in there. Because, spoiler, if we didn't get there since we're talking about crossovers, Roy and Ryu are coming back. They do have amiibo outfits for the Inklings, and people thought, well, they have the amiibo outfits, they're not in the game. No, they have amiibo outfits for Link, and Link is in the game.
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to reveal that the Inkling boy and the Inkling girl are in the game because they're, it's their new IP. They want to hype it, and it's doing pretty good for a new IP from Nintendo. So they're probably going to hype it as much as they can by saying, let's put them in Smash Bros. As well. So I'm hoping they are
probably let you use those amiibos anywhere. That's going to be the thing right there. Let you use.
They already have the amiibos for them.
Exactly. Or I don't know if you pulled out amiibos. A case in point, I wanted to say.
There is, though, a much more iconic, longer tenured character coming to Super Smash Brothers, of course, and it just leaked out earlier today, and none other than the legendary Ryu of Street Fighter, the original Shoto himself, will be in Super Smash Brothers.
I am hyped for this for one main reason. I had a theory with my friends I could finally test out: Falcon Punch versus Hadouken. Will the Falcon Punch make the Hadouken dissipate, or will the Hadouken go through it and actually hit him? I want to find out. Which one cancels out which?
See, what I am enjoying about this, especially, is that, one, I love how people, when it comes to Super Smash Brothers, they always like to talk about how Super Smash Brothers isn't technically a fighting game. And now, all of a sudden, it has arguably the most iconic character in the history of fighting games as a character in this game. And
He is
I enjoy...
the fighting game character.
Yes.
He is... If there is any video game character that is most identifiable with the fighting game genre, it is Ryu.
Yeah.
And I, for one, am interested in playing as him. Also, am I the only one, Petey? In the fighting game community, fighting sticks are the norm. I want to start seeing people playing Super Smash Brothers with fight sticks. That intrigues me. I want to see people bringing their fight sticks, their giant customized fight sticks, to try and play Super Smash Brothers, to try and do all of the Street Fighter moves. I want to know just how much of Street Fighter will be in Super Smash Brothers as Ryu.
The tough part is that Super Smash Brothers doesn't have the arcade connection that other fighting games have. So I don't know how much it's tailored for fighting sticks, but it would be just fun to watch.
But there's already a fighting stick that works with it. Because since the Wii Remote and its accessories work with this game, there's a fight stick that was made for Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. I have it somewhere, just not here. So, and I can confirm, though, that it will work on Smash Bros. I've seen people do videos playing with the Tatsunoko vs. Capcom fight stick on Smash Bros. So they can do it.
I really want to see just how Ryu-esque he's going to be in Super Smash Brothers. I want to know how much of his moveset will be incorporated into this game. Like, I remember Maximilian playing Asura's Wrath, and there's some DLC where you fight Ryu, and you also fight Akuma. And he said during his stream, "Screw it, I'm getting my fight stick." And it was hilarious because this is a game that was in no way designed for the fight stick at all, but he somehow made it work. And I want to see how this game will work with the fight stick. That really, really intrigues me. And I hope that everyone that hates on Super Smash Brothers for not being a fighting game is enjoying all the overwhelming salt. I hope that the salt is flowing, because
I want to know one thing, and I agree with the salt comment. I want to know one thing. When they bring their own custom fighting sticks, is it like people that go to the pool hall and have their own like custom sticks and have their own custom pouch, and then they sit there and screw it on?
Yes.
Now, is it like
buttons will fall off, buttons will break. Yes. And joysticks will fall. And I've seen people slam down their fight sticks in anger. It's...
Why did they just make me imagine Rufus from Street Fighter 4 with a big bag come walking into a place? I got my fight stick. It just started unzipping it. Like, is that Rufus?
Is it going down here? It's got a fight stick. It seems like it's going down.
It's going down.
Lily, let me tell you. In Southfield, not too far from me, they have this thing on Monday nights called Mitten Masher Mondays, where they bring the fight sticks. Guys bring their fight sticks, and it goes down. It goes down. I don't dabble too deeply in the FGC, but when I'm there and I witness it goes down. The gauntlet is thrown, and suckers occasionally get served. So
I gotta say, I'm gonna be the unpopular opinion here. I don't like Smash. I don't like games that cause friends to not be friends anymore.
So you don't like anything from Nintendo, then?
So you don't like Mario Party? You don't like the game Monopoly?
I don't like Monopoly, no.
So when I come over to your house and everybody's there,
sorry, then.
So Lily, next time I come over to your house and everybody's there, we're probably not gonna play Mario Kart, is what you're saying.
You know what? You can definitely get the rest of the Poly family to play, but I'm just not the biggest fan.
You know what? I hear you, Lily. I do understand.
Not everything is for everyone.
You have to break out the Crossfire, the ultimate game to make you hate your friend. Oh, board game, Crossfire.
No.
You'll get caught up in the
Crossfire. Crossfire.
You'll get caught
We
up
have
in
had
it.
board game nights here at our place pretty frequently, and the games that make people just like up and quit are like Nuclear War and Twilight Imperium, which takes like 3 days to play anyway. And it's just we have
Any
had
Munchkin?
some friendships end.
Could I bring Munchkin to a party at your place?
Oh, totally. We've got most of the Munchkin ones actually.
I have 3 versions. I have zombies, I have regular, and I have Adventure Time.
Oh, we don't have Adventure Time. We have zombies and regular though.
I'll bring Adventure Time. Party
I
of
don't
the
think any
See?
friends will ever break up of Catan, however you pronounce it.
See? Bringing people together. We're bringing people together. We're making friends. We're building groups. We're saving the world. Unlike the People's Republic of China, who seem to want to do nothing but divide and cause problems and cause some of that legit heat, brother. Because China, or as Forrest Gump called them, the land of China, has dropped the Banhammer on all kinds of anime.
Yes.
38 different anime has been banned in China. It has been rumored for quite some time that the Chinese government would be clamping down on sites that would stream anime, but now it has happened. And man, this list is actually pretty extensive. It's got quite a few pretty well-known anime. I mean, just looking, you've got
Guys, Death Note wasn't already banned
Yeah.
because how their laws
Sword
work.
Art Online, High School of the Dead, Ergo Proxy, all the big names. China just doesn't want anything good.
Yes.
Well, it's not so much that China doesn't want anything good. It's just that not unlike Taiwan or Korea or anything like that, they're more than likely just going to bootleg it themselves and come up with something of their own. Afro Samurai, for example, is on this list. Afro Samurai. I'm guessing the Chinese bootleg version will probably be called Jerry Curl Ronin.
Oh my gosh. So, one of my favorite
Jerry
shows
Curl.
is Top Gear UK, and there's an episode on copyright infringement in the car world in Top Gear UK. They took a Honda Civic and they call it a Honda. It is exactly the same in every way. Just like visually, it is exactly the same, but it's a Honda. It's
That's-
ridiculous the way that they just take things from other countries and make them their own and refuse to admit that they have had any influence from other countries.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen,
Go ahead,
They-
AW. Go ahead.
I've seen
Go
a
ahead,
list
yeah.
of all the worst things that they have from China, and they had a Spider-Man toy. It said Spader-Man. They had an Iron Man that said Metal Hero. I'm like, come on, Spader-Man, Metal Hero. They even had a
Spider-Man,
MMO that had
Spider-Man.
Kratos on it in Samus. Why would you
One
have
of my
Samus and
favorite.
Kratos?
One of
on
my
the game?
favorite classic shows and animes is none other than Combatant Superpower of Cosmic Hero over here. Such a fan I went to the dollar store and I bought this guy. Mint condition, still in the packaging.
And
It's worth
RFP.
something. It's gonna be
And
worth
RFP.
yes.
Now, I want to throw this one out to the chat room. And if you're out there watching live on the interwebs, use the hashtag A3K Live. Send it out there. And guys in the chat room, I want you to give me your best attempt at a bootleg Chinese title for a rename. For example, Afro Samurai, that will be Jerry Curl Ronin, as it were. Jerry Curl Ronin.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Devil
that like
May
really
Cry.
what they call it?
Devil May Cry could possibly be Satan possibly weeps. Satan possibly weeps. Attack on Titan. The Chinese bootleg version of that will be Siege
Assault.
on Giants. Siege on Giants. Corpse Party. Shikabane Hime, Corpse Party. Let's see. That would be Zombie Shenanigans. Zombie Shenanigans. Which could probably be...
Definitely will be Terminal Journal.
Terminal Journal. Yes. Psychopaths. Go ahead, Petey.
Bloomer and Hose with suspenders.
I bet that show is terrible. I bet that show is absolutely terrible.
I bet it's like full on continues with the Bizarro aspect and ends up being amazing.
No, that show is probably terrible.
If it's like the flip side.
Black Butler. We're gonna call that one White Maid. That is the Chinese bootleg version. Assassination Classroom. The Chinese bootleg version of that one will be. Help me out here, guys. Me out here.
They just call it Training Camp.
Training Camp. We're getting one from One Eye. One Eyes 3D in the chat room says Assault on Gargantuan for Attack on Titan. Colton, host of the Manga Corner, another one for Attack on Titan. Charge on the Big Guys.
Charge at the big guys. Yay!
Tweeted one,
I can see the
#8K
poster.
bootleg Chinese anime names, knife drawings on the internet somewhere or something, I don't know, Sword Art Online.
I love it. Love it.
You know what? The perfect name for Attack on Titans. China versus America. Since we're so small.
Yeah, it really is. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's caught on to that with Attack on Titan, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, Westerners showing up in Asian countries naked and causing trouble. That's in the news right now.
Yes.
Well, it caused an earthquake, apparently.
Got a couple more in the chat room. Coming to us from a curious Scott, Jojo's Rather Strange Journey. Do we take a drink for that one?
I think we have to, yeah.
All right.
Maybe we spit.
For that one, just a little tiny sip. You gotta take a classy sip with your pinky out.
Bubblegum Crisis has turned into Candy Catastrophe from One Yes See in 3D? One I See in 3D, sorry.
One I See is in 3D, yes.
Sean Russell of the A3K network at anime3000.com has given us a couple. Serpent's Nuts. Which one would that be? I'm a little lost.
Serpent's Nuts?
Yeah.
Serpent's Nuts?
Dragon
Maybe it's
Ball!
Dragon Balls.
Yes. Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay. Alright. Okay. Sure.
Nuts.
We'll go with that.
But I already have a bootleg Dragon Ball called Dragon Pearl.
Yes.
It's a whole movie. I've sat through it.
And guys, I will tell
Dragon
you,
Ball Evolution.
this is the obligatory DJM Mecha mention of the podcast. I have seen the Taiwan ripoff of Mobile Suit Gundam, the original Mobile Suit Gundam, complete with late 70s animation. What was it called? I believe it was called Johnny Universe, and it's really incredible. It's truly bootleg, and the bad guy is Amuro, and the good guy is Char, and there's all sorts of Vince Russo heel turns and everything.
Yes.
I'm just giggling at the chat. We've got a Gungrave from a Curious Scott would be Burial Firearms. Yu Yu Hakusho from One Eye Season 3D would be Yo Yo Ghost Time. Heat Guy Scott is Warm Man J.
Warm Feller J.
Girls
Yo-Yo
Bravo.
Ghost Time sound like some.
And we've got one that I really want to throw this around. Those Who Hunt Elves. Because that's just so utterly generic. Those Who Hunt Elves. How do you make a Chinese bootleg animation from that? Other than calling it, I don't know.
The Pursuers of Odd Mystical Creatures.
With ears. So Lily, you might wanna get rid of the ears so the Chinese bootleggers don't come after
I
you.
don't know. I don't want an earectomy yet. I like these here.
No.
I'm
I'm just looking.
The
I'm just looking
pursuers
out
of
for you, Lily.
mythological elongated ear people.
Mhm. Hey, that's our word.
Pursuers of mythological elongated ear people. There we go.
I think that's just the PC version of it.
Keep it clean.
That's just the politically
we
correct.
already had a complaint that this wasn't safe for work anymore.
Yeah. This stopped being safe for work a long time ago. Probably when I introduced the drinking.
Probably.
Yes, and probably when I suggested Squid Ink Bukkake on AW Brawler's face.
I got
Oh wait, I
one.
wasn't supposed to admit that. Sorry. Did I say that out loud?
See,
I exposed the.
see
You can call
now you're never gonna leave developmental because you don't know how to keep it PG, PD.
Yeah, I know. Keep trying to want to do the
keep it
package
PG,
file
though.
driver.
Now let me try and redeem you a little bit, PD, because there was a story that I saw that I thought was kind of up your alley. Being the host of Hallyu covering all things J-pop, K-pop, and East Asian pop culture, I wanted to ask you about this one. There is a voice actress and performer in the global conglomerate known as AKB48, Reina
48
Matsui.
as I like to say. Reina Matsui.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is announcing that she is graduating from the giant idol group of 786 women and
Yes.
girls. She's graduating. She initially joined the group to become an actress. She's done some voice acting work, and of course within AKB, SKE, OPP, CIA 48.
Yes.
She's done these other things. But now she's graduating. What exactly does that mean, PD Ray?
Okay.
What does it mean when an idol graduates from
Okay.
this group? Does it mean that she gets to walk without chains? Is there some
in
kind
a
of
sense.
emancipation contract?
She
In a
has
sense.
senpai
All
status
right.
now.
Yes. So what it means is graduating is that like a school, like when you graduate from school, she is moving on to the next phase in her life. She's ceremoniously taking off her cap and gown, wishing her fellow members well as they wish her well, getting a grand send-off and moving on to the next phase of her life and her career. That is, DJM and I would put it, is the kayfabe. The reality is that
We're
a
shooting
member,
right now, brother.
We're
We're shooting.
The reality is that this is a member of a pop music group leaving said pop music group. Period. For whatever reason she, or maybe the management, deems the reason for doing it, it is the same as Zayn leaving One Direction, Chris and Luhan leaving EXO. It is except that the graduation lets the company put a romanticized ceremonial veneer over it, where they get to kind of wish her well and send her off in the ceremonial fashion to ease the pain of the fans and keep them invested in the brand that is the 48verse, rather than it feel like a divorce or it cause a division. It is.
PD, I brought you on this show, and you, like me, you speak wrestling. You speak the
Yes.
wrestling language. What you're describing to me, in a lot of ways, kind of sounds similar to when an independent wrestler gets signed to WWE, and they're going on their farewell tour. That's kind of what this sounds like. Would you
Sounds
compare it to that, or no?
I would compare it. I would say it's the veneer. It's the veneer of that. That is the veneer. That is what it's supposed to look and feel like. And the reality is that it's the future endeavor press statement. Where it's this like thing like, oh, we wish you well in your future endeavors, when that we've already deconstructed and done in our heads and turned into a joke in our heads. But it's supposed to be like you're wishing them well and you're sending them off in a good way. When it's just it's a romantic veneer for what is ostensibly a business decision for all parties involved.
Okay. Pete, I'm gonna throw it. gonna throw it for a second. Can you check on your mic for me for a second?
Oh, can I?
Lily, you were saying something?
Oh, it just sounds like it's a very politic way of saying, I'm going to quit and move on to better things, and you guys continue doing the awesome things that you're doing. I'm just not going to be involved anymore.
That is kind of what it sounds like. And all right, that sound, it might just be me. Now, something from One Eye 3D in the chat room that I want to ask AW about, since you've kind of grown to having this reputation of being a little on the weird side. One Eye 3D in the chat room says that Reina Matsui is graduating from this group because a 20-year-old woman isn't creepy enough to spit to. Now, personally,
I have
she's 24.
Yeah, I'll AW Brawler.
Go ahead, Petey. Go ahead, Petey.
Well, I will say that that's one reason, and then it could be a myriad of other things. It could also be involuntary and everything. But AW Brawler, how would you react to that statement?
I have one thing to say about that one, and I say yes, because if you follow music like that too, I'm pretty sure you heard of Perfume. Mm-hmm. Aren't they a bit too old to be doing the poppy bubblegummy thing? Like if you look at the live performance of Perfume doing the song Communication, it's like they're a bit too old to be doing this. So they have to graduate and make them move on out and replace them with newer people, because
so why is that
they don't want to get to that point where it's so embarrassing that they look like the way Perfume look when they're performing Communication live. I'm like, they look like a bunch of old women doing little cutesy dances.
Yeah.
But why is that different for the guy groups then? Because like you've got
because
guys
guy
age
groups.
slower.
I will say guys are for a different audience. Guy groups are different in that guy groups exist, and especially in K-pop, and I would say I imagine also in J-pop, they exist for teenage girls. Teenage girls are their core fandom, especially in pop groups, and them being kind of older and manlier and more macho and kind of having more of a gravitas and presence, still has an appeal. At least according to the, I would argue that an older, mature, woman with gravitas also has appeal, but that's beside the point.
I agree.
Convention, the common convention is that that for teenage girls they have that interest in all those guys, but with the girl groups they want to keep them young and cute and infantilized and subservient and virginal and pure, because fucking old dudes that jack it to those groups are creepy as fuck.
Right. I mean, case in point, you will have more people like me who are fans of people like Sayuki Takagi from Juice Juice than you will have fans of people from Perfume. And no one is saying that M Black is running girls off. Yes, they're older, but girls love M Black.
They're running members off,
Beast.
but that's another thing.
Right.
And then doing diss tracks about the old members, but that's a whole other thing.
You know too much.
Yes. You've seen the lyrics to Mirror.
Yes.
All of this sounds really, really interesting. It really does. That's why I brought you on for this, Petey. You hosting Hallyu-Juku. I knew you could provide some insight, which
and I just
really
think like the like you were saying with the aging of the male stars too, like Yoshiki from X Japan, he never ages. He's a vampire somehow, somewhere. So yeah, I guess it does. If you're looking from an aesthetic view, like what the fans are going to think looking at these people, it does sort of make sense to freshen it up every once in a while.
I don't think it makes sense, but they believe it makes sense. Because nobody cares about Menudo anymore, and they try to do that. But it makes sense that they think it makes sense.
Yeah, no. It makes sense to them, and I can understand why. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't agree with it either, because Girls' Generation is still killing it. 8 years after they debut, all of them in their mid to late 20s. 21 is still killing it. Other groups,
Right.
if you have a strong brand, If you have a strong brand, it could stay growing.
Here's the thing with 2NE1 though. With 2NE1, it's
Well, they're disbanded.
you will forget that they're as old as they are because CL is like what 20 something and Menzies like 19.
Yeah.
And Bomb and Dara are like in their 30s or close to 30s. You'll forget because they look young.
Well, Bomb looks older than she does. Bomb is the plastic surgery. All of that plastic surgery. It's so sad.
Although a lot of the guys, especially in a lot of those Visual K groups, they're all well into their 40s now, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
But
That's why I brought up X Japan. They're so old, but they just don't look it.
How old are the people from the Gazette?
Oh,
They're
I
like-
don't know.
Would it be counted as Visual K or like black metal? I never know what the group them
I
is.
don't know. I just thought X Japan was like just regular metal. But then
They are.
Yeah.
They're one of the only Japanese rock.
But like I think the better example is like the Exile, where they just kind of stay around as leaders, kind of the top guys in Exile, but they still have newer guys come in. They just don't kick people out. But it's still present in it is present in some board groups in Japan specifically. I think that's kind of the difference. There's more present in Japan where it's graduating and refreshing, where in K-pop there's just new groups. You establish new brands.
Petey, do you remember when I showed you this story that I saw a while ago about that they were actually trying to make one of the many AKB offshoots where they actually marketed them with women that were in their mid to late 20s. Do you remember this? How did that ever turn out? How did that go?
I don't know. I'm not as plugged into the 48verse as others.
I think.
So I'm not.
Are you talking about the SKE48 or whatever they were called?
No. It was like more like Saturday something like ST. No, not STD. SND 48, I think. I think that's the name. I don't know how they're going right now, but I think they are a more in their 20s, and I remember being more interested in that because you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I don't care about cutesy young girl groups. I don't care about the schoolgirl outfits and the infantilization of young women. You give me some grown-ass women being grown-ass sexy. I'm in.
If you want a group with grown women being grown and sexy, I dare you to go look up. It's a Japanese group called Faky, Faky. Mm-hmm. They kind of sound like old school '90s songs. One of them sound like Christina Aguilera, even.
Yeah, I like like groups like Sistar, now AOA's new stuff. Groups like that where it's just regular old sexiness, just women being
Lily,
sexy.
What's your take on grown-ass women being grown-ass sexy?
It sounds grown-ass sexy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Because I really do believe that there's the argument online about the sexy concepts and the sexualization, and people bring up the innocent groups like A-Pink and like Lovelies and like G-Friend, and people rightfully bring back that those groups are just as sexual. They're just built around infantilization and being cute and virginal and having A-Pink say they've never kissed before and shit like that. And that's worse than just having straightforward sexuality, in my opinion.
It's a different form of sexualization that sort of seems to cater to the strange affair with innocence that the Asian cultures, mainly Japan, seem to have as to the sort of like, we're okay with drawing pedophilia. Well, we're okay with pretending these girls are, this virginal and infantile. It's very creepy to me, personally.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say this because people are going to twist it and say it wrong because it's the internet, but heck, I'm going to say it. There's just something attractive and interesting about innocence and virgin. Something's attractive about that. Like, if you show me some woman who's just like everyone's bragging saying she can do this, she can do that, but then they kind of pointed out how she seems kind of slutty, and then you give me someone who they say, oh, she's inexperienced, don't know nothing, but they paint a picture of her to be a virgin, I'm probably going to be more interested in the innocent virgin-looking person. There's something attractive about that, and I think I understand Japan's obsession with it.
I'm going to be the weirdo goes a little too far into the sexual realm and say inexperience is not sexy.
No.
It's just
I
It's
I am
cute, and they love cute.
you're outnumbered 3-1 here, AW.
I will say
And
cute
Lily,
is fun.
Doesn't
it's
this
not-
sound a little bit, Lily? Doesn't this sound a little bit like the show we're watching for Nanashi right now?
it does actually.
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Last time I was on A3K, actually, Jack recommended to me Yamada's First Time because I saw a trailer for it at a con I was at, and that is what we're rocking for Nanashi, and it is so much creepy. It's so much creepy.
It is.
Such creepy. Very pedo.
Now, but let's get ourselves away from the creepy, guys. Tell me, let's just jump into what I'm calling the consumption chronicles. So tell me, PD Rave, what have you been dotting? What are you consuming lately?
So have you ever had like a show that you could have sworn you've seen, but you may not have seen, but you feel like you've seen, but mostly you imagine maybe mostly during by pop culture osmosis, and you've almost convinced yourself you've seen? Have you ever had that? I had that with Cowboy Bebop. I just realized that, and I finally sat down because it's on Hulu. I finally sat down and started watching Cowboy Bebop, which is an interesting journey. I'm learning and experiencing things that I realized I hadn't experienced before, or I've either that or I've forgotten or whatever. And I don't have to describe Cowboy Bebop. Y'all know what Cowboy Bebop is, you know. So that's an interesting journey. And connected to that as well, I'm also continuing, as much as I can remember to do so, going through Space Dandy, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm enjoying.
Are you
Space
watching them
Dandy.
at the same time?
Now I am, because I'm kind of jumping back and forth in a weird way, just because I tend to just jump back and forth. I'm a person who can't sit still. That's why I'm standing. So I'm starting to do the standing podcasting thing. Can't sit still. So I jump back and forth and stuff like that. So I am kind of watching them like a little bit back and forth together. But yeah, Space Dandy is such a fun journey. Like it's just
It really is.
it's so giftedly weird. Like in just the right ways. It's not weird for weird's sake. It just hits the right jokes and hits the right moments that just works so well. And I'm so glad I checked it out. I'm so glad I followed the recommendations that of DJM and others to check out Space Dandy. Aside from that, checked out. I went through. I'm going to go with the outside of anime. I went through another rewatch of one of my favorite Korean dramas, which I would more call a coming-of-age romantic dramedy than a drama. Reply 1997 or Answer Me 1997, however you kind of look at it, it's sometimes said both ways. It is a fun show. Like it is a really funny, clever, sincere show, very honest show. It is just a group of kids growing up in Busan. Like it's just a group of high school kids growing up in Busan. It is a show that starts off at a high school reunion in 2012, present time at the airing of the show, and then it flashes back to 1997 and puts you in Busan, South Korea in 1997 with absolutely accurate technology, media, music, the feel of the time, and all of that kind of as it grows forward through the times, 98, 99, the 2000s. Lets the media and the music and the feel of the times and the technology kind of pepper on the world and kind of create an honest feeling around this kind of cool, interesting, fun, little cute story of just these people growing up and figuring out who they are in the world. You know, going through the IMF crisis, going through this, that, and the other thing. You know, getting into college. Like the main character. So the main character is an HOT fangirl. HOT being one of the biggest group, the biggest boy group at the time in '97, and one of the ways she gets into college, because she doesn't get very good grades, is with her expertly well written HOT slash fiction that she rewords into for a writing contest, and that gets her into college. So helping you understand it, it really is a very good, sincere show, and I highly recommend that people check it out. Answer Me 1997. You won't regret it. But that's it. That's
awesome.
mainly.
Awesome, Petey. And also, not only that, you have just gotten the approval of the queen of the A3K network, JD Banks. Our queen in the chat room, JD, she senpai noticed you. So, nicely done, Petey Rave. Well done, my friend. You got JD senpai to notice you. Well done, sir.
Achievement unlocked,
JD.
noticed by senpai.
What are you dotting, AW? Aside from Splatoon, because
Yeah,
I
I
know
was gonna
for the
skip
last
past
I know for the last 148 hours you've been doing Splatoon. But if you have like gotten some sleep or maybe gotten something to eat in between that time, what have you been up to?
Well, actually, I probably would be a lot higher in there if I didn't get sucked up in my new thing with anime. Like one of my favorite things about anime is that if you find the right one, you get to experience all kind of you get to experience a lot of things vicariously through the characters. Like I suck at sports, but I love Kuroki's basketball because it gives me that feeling, lets me, it kind of gives me that feeling of, oh, this was like to be on the basketball team. I like Free Eternal Summer because I can't swim to save my life, but it's a fun thing. And now I've gotten into music anime lately, and I've been recently watching Sound Euphonium because I was supposed to be in band when I was younger, but I didn't know I passed the test. Apparently, my folks hid it from me. I don't know why. And so it's kind of feels like I'm actually living through those days and seeing what it would have been like to be in band. And I really like that about the anime. So I've been on that and other anime that are music related, some of which I can't remember the name at the time. And also I've been reading through the One Piece manga because I just stopped randomly. I used to get I think I told everyone one of the main things that got me into manga was Shonen Jump. I used to get them in the mail all the time. And when I stopped getting them, I stopped reading the One Piece manga. So I kind of want to get up to date on the manga, so I just recently start reading it from the beginning, and I'm not really too deep in it. I'm only on like chapter 30 something. So I just want to read from where it is up to date with the One Piece manga and just see where everything goes from there, because the manga's ahead of the show. Like I do know, never mind, that's a spoiler. I'm not going to say that, but I do know how this arc that's airing tonight that I'm actually missing right now is going to end, and I gotta say it's going to be a awesome ending. Luffy's going to surprise us a bit.
Awesome. Thank you, AW. Lily, it's been a couple of days since we talked. What are you up to?
Well, besides prepping for Indie PopCon and getting all of the customs squared away before that, I've been doing a lot of Hearthstone playing, which is Blizzard's new sort of internet card. Me too! I just got my first ever 12 run in arena, and if you guys have never played Hearthstone, you can only get to 12 in your arena, and then you have to retire your character. That's like the top rank. That's the best you can ever do. I just got my first 12 run, so I'm pumped about that. I took so many screen caps. I'll send you guys the animated GIF I made because I was just so stoked.
Meanwhile, I live at 0*20. I live there.
Oh. I think I'm like rank 50 right now.
We are it.
I've been watching
trading session. Lily,
yes?
You got yourself a trading session.
What's that?
Help PD out. Help PD out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I will be your senpai for your Hearthstone senpai. I've been watching Yamada's first time for Nanashi. I'm getting a new tattoo on Tuesday, and I bought a wedding dress today. Not Yay! For that reason.
Wait, what? Oh. Wait, whoa, Lily.
Yes?
It was supposed to be a surprise.
In the words of Booker T, what the hell? What?
I'm going to be chopping it up and making a Corpse Bride cosplay.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha!
Oh, man. I was like, am I going to have to get, like, a tuxedo in the last minute? What the heck?
Next time she's on the show, she's going to go, I went and bought a pregnancy test.
For a cosplay.
For cosplay as that meme where they pull up the pregnancy thing.
That's right, exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have no problem, just at any given time, I have a best man speech prepared for anyone that I know that might be getting married. I have one prepared, just in case, because you never know.
Unfortunately, polymarriage isn't legal yet, so I can't rock that. But maybe one day.
Maybe.
Can I still give a speech?
Yeah. You can give a speech whenever you want. We'll just have a party and pretend like it's a wedding. We'll all dress up pretty or funny. I don't know. It'll be fun.
I can totally give that speech at your place. We can do that. That's
true.
definitely.
And then we'll play Mario Kart, and I'll watch.
Yeah.
And I will try not to let anyone beat me up if I win.
Fair.
Mario Kart causes violence. And
I love the violence.
I don't want to get hurt. I'm very frail.
You know, Maddie just started judo, so there's now 3 people here who can kick your tail.
And I'm puny, Lily. I'm quite weak. I'm quite frail. So I might just watch with you.
I'm a little more doughy, so I can block the way with my fat. I'm just like.
Yeah, it's like built-in padding.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I'm frail.
Real boy adventure. I'm sorry.
Now, but before I start feeling even worse about myself, let's just jump into the takeaway. Petey Rave
Yes.
of the Rebelli Podcast Network. What have you got going on over at rebelli.net?
The big one is, of course, Record Breakers. I like to call it a book club for music. It's the quorum. Each week we each bring an album for the rest of the group to listen to, and then we all give our honest thoughts. It's really fun. It's kind of a super quick listen. They're usually 20 to 30 minutes, and it's kind of becoming the flagship show. I hate to say, sorry, Deej, but it's kind of becoming the flagship show of the network.
Cool.
You can check that out at recordbreakerspodcast.com, or at rebelli.net, or on the Rebelli YouTube page for this and other shows, including the Fanny Pack Wrestling Podcast, which might be having its next season soon. Maybe I'm kind of plotting.
Yeah.
That and other things.
We're
And I'll
getting the band back together.
Yeah. I will also, since Cody isn't here, I'm going to take over one of his bits. I'm going to give the album pick of the week.
Petey.
What's up?
Hey, look, last time that happened, he didn't like the way that went, man.
Hey, I would say the Barbarettes.
Petey.
I'm
It's
pulling
not
rank.
safe to go alone, man.
Petey, I'm pulling rank here, okay? I'm pulling rank.
I was just going to say the Barbarettes are a really fun little doo-wop group.
That, Petey, don't make me hit the button, Petey. Don't make me hit the button.
Since I have a higher judo belt than you, David, do I get to pull rank too?
It's the A3K podcast, Lily.
What if I make
I'm pulling rank. AW Brawler, what have you got going on? Tell us everything.
Everything?
Everything. Except your album of the week. Except that. Don't do that.
Oh, it was going to be an awesome album of the week with a band that I know. No, I'm not going to do that. But no, what I have is I have the Twitch channel going, and I've twitch.tv/AW Brawler. I also have my Tumblr back up and running because my old one randomly got deleted because I didn't use it forever. I have it back up. It's FrankieMax.tumblr.com. And yeah, you'll probably see a whole lot of splatooning on there. But also amongst that, I have my occasional music video, manga. Sometimes I have random discussions, and sometimes people reply. Sometimes they call me crazy. But that's the way the internet works.
And you
and also this E3,
Yep,
I'm going to be doing live reactions on YouTube to everything.
Oh,
that
cool.
happens. So
Cool.
people get to see me wig out.
Get the hype. Do all that hype stuff. I love it. And also, follow AW on Twitter at twitter.com/AWBrawler. He's great. Follow AW on Twitter. Lily Inverse, what have you got going on? Tell us everything about Lily Inverse Designs and all the stuff you're doing.
I'll make you a deal. I'll tell you everything I'm doing for the next 2 months.
Go.
Maybe 3 months. I'll tell you everything from
Go.
now till August, because otherwise we'll
Go.
be here all night. So we've got
Go.
Indie Pop Con, the 26th through 28th of this month. We will also be doing the Michigan Pagan Festival in Belleville on the 27th of this month. Next month.
Mind if I ask what a pagan festival is?
I don't know. It's our first run.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're hoping. We're hoping. Actually, I have a good friend.
Probably involving trees. Lots of
Probably.
trees.
I have a good friend who's got a booth there who invited us to set our wares out, so we'll see how they do. We're going July 4th weekend to Anime Midwest in Chicago. The giant con that is always our
I'm going
best
to
con.
be at that one as well, Lily.
Yes! Awesome.
So team hashtag Nanashi will be in full force for Anime
Boom.
Midwest.
And then after that, we've got TrotCon in Columbus, Ohio, the 17th through the 19th of July. And then the behemoth, Otakon in Baltimore, Maryland.
Otakon!
I've never
Lily?
been, and
You're
I'm-
going to Otakon, and you're going to make a whole bunch of money, and you're going to hang out with the A3K crew, and it's going to be awesome. You're going to do
I am
great,
excited
Lily.
for that.
I believe in you, Lily. Even if I can't make it to Otakon, which, we'll see. I believe in you.
Yes.
I believe in the me that believes in you, Lily in verse.
Fair enough.
And it's going to be amazing.
After that, the last weekend of July and first weekend of August, there's Gen Con. Then that's in Indianapolis as well. There's Matsuri Con in Columbus, August 14th through 16th. Wizard World Chicago, August 20th through 23rd. Glass City Comic Con in Toledo, August 29th and 30th. And always and forever online at LILLYINVERSE.com, Facebook.com/LilyInverseDesigns, and at LilyInverse on the Twitters.
And you can always check out each and every episode of the Nanashi Anime Podcast, the anime podcast with no name. And our upcoming episode will be on Yamada's first time, right here on the A3K network at anime3000.com, where you can check out this podcast, Two Guys and a Mic, the other side, the Manga Corner, and again, this very show, the A3K podcast. That's anime3000.com. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching on YouTube Live or on demand. Thank you for downloading the podcast. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, wherever you might find your RSS feed, through Beyond Pod, whatever. Thank you for tuning into the A3K network. We are at anime3000.com. We are on Twitter at anime3000. We are on Facebook at anime3000. We are on Orkut at anime3000. We are on Google Wave at anime3000.com. We are on Friendster at anime3000. Thank you all once again. We are live Saturday evening, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at A3K TV on YouTube. Much love to the Diamond Club at diamondclub.tv. Thank you again for watching and tuning in. And thank you all for listening to the A3K podcast. My name is David Majors. AW Brawler, say your outro.
And every brawler saying, be you, be true, be human. And also, stay fresh. Splatoon joke.
Petey Rafe, say your outro.
Until next time, hasta los huevos.
And one more time for the world to hear, say goodnight, Lily.
Good night, Lily.
And good night, Lily, to all of you. Thanks for listening. Nada! And that is a podcast, everybody.
Yay!
And I apologize for my mic. I don't know what happened. I think the bandwidth just didn't want me to...
fluky.
Hadouken! Sorry, I'm going to check my sound.
It was a glitch in the tubes.
Yes. I was scared. It was like I actually closed and reopened Voicemeeter because I know I have an issue where sometimes Voicemeeter does a thing that's inagreeable, and it sounded like that.
That's what Virtual Audio Cable did, and it was kind of yucky.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, Internet.
Bye. Love you.
Say goodnight to the internet.